busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's touchless car wash has two convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400 now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's touchless car wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
Welcome into the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. It's currently 44 degrees outside here in Elgin. As we march up to our high of 53 today, that sun is trying its best, despite all the clouds moving away. We've got breaking news for the road closure for State Street between Chicago and National Street. The Elgin Police Department has closed it off because there is reported 1 dead and 2 injured after a train engine collided with a landscaping truck in Elgin. It was injured this morning on State Street in Elgin, and it was closed between Chicago and National Street. We're waiting on confirmation if that is open again. According to Elgin Police Department, it was closed for that train wreck that was there, and we will notify you throughout the day here on WRMN as more reports come out. But the only thing that is actually reported is 1 person is dead and 2 others are injured this morning when a freight train engine collided with a landscaping truck at State Street crossing in Elgin. State Street was closed. City officials say the person killed and 2 injured were in a truck at the time of the collision, and they did not release any details about the extent of the injuries nor their medical conditions. Authorities said it was only a freight train engine on the tracks at the time. It was not hauling any cars. Police are urging motorists to find alternative routes out there. If you are looking on the YouTube side, you can actually see that Matt McNeil, our great engineer, has pulled that up over there. So stay tuned here on WRMN for more breaking news for that. Other things that we've got: Carpenterville prohibits immigration agents from using the village-owned property, and a few other headlines that we've got here today, including less food for more people. Thousands could lose the SNAP benefits amid the shutdown. And we've got in the Elk Grove Village Crime Prevention Unit, they're going to host a neighborhood watch. But before we get to that, let's read the lottery numbers for yesterday, Wednesday, October 22nd. Here's our midday pick 3, 7, 6, 3 with a 6 on the end. And the midday pick 4, 4, 4, 0, 1, also with a 6 on the back. Evening pick 3 comes in at 8, 1, 3 with a 7 on the fireball. Evening pick 4 is 9400 with another 0 on the back. Mid-Lucky comes in at 1, 15, 30, 33, and 38. And the Evening Lucky coming in at 9, 18, 21, 37, and 43. Powerball 18, 37, 52, 54, and 60 with a 12 on the back of that. Remember, you have up to 1 year to collect your winnings. Good luck. Before we head out, there's one other crash that has been reported. A woman suffered injuries that do not appear to be life-threatening in a rollover crash in Mundelein Wednesday morning. Fire officials said her SUV crashed into a parked car that rear-ended another parked vehicle at the intersection of Davidson Street and Prairie Avenue around 7 a.m. The SUV rolled over on its side, and the woman needed to be cut out of the vehicle and taken out through the windshield, officials said. The woman was taken to a hospital with moderate injuries. When we come back, we've got more news here in the local area. A city could apply tax to drive-through only chains and food trucks. And ICE will pursue federal charges over Rolling Brook incident, police have said. Stick around for more WRMN 10 o'clock news after this.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. Still 44 degrees outside here in the Fox River Valley. Naperville, a city, could apply tax to drive-through only chains and food trucks. Drive-through only establishments have popped up in Naperville with caffeinated drink menus and social media buzz fueling long lines of cars. The 7 Brew kiosk off Ogden Avenue is a more prominent example. Along Route 59, there's a Scooter's Coffee and a drive-through focused Chick-fil-A in South Naperville. Dutch Brothers Coffee is also seeking city approval for a drive-through shop just north of Napier Boulevard, entrance to the Market Meadows Shopping Center. Despite their popularity, most of these establishments are not required to collect and remit Naperville's food and beverage tax, according to a memo from the City Finance Department. One of them remits the tax. City spokesperson Kelly Munch confirmed it was determined that the tax applies there because of permanent outdoor seating. Under a draft ordinance, the city would be, quote, correcting that situation, says Mayor Scott Worrell. It would amend the city's definition of a retail food facility, quote, to establish clear and consistent application of the tax across the food and beverage industry, the memo noted. Councilman Patrick Kelly said, it's certainly not fair. I think I have brick and mortars that are not paying it just because they're drive-through only. So I think this is a need updated in that regard. Worrell has also proposed imposing the tax on food trucks. He said it's not necessarily talking about the trucks that roll into Naperville once and then leave town, but rather he referred to the food trucks that set up shop here and literally run a restaurant out of a parking lot, either all summer or all year, and are directly competing with our brick and mortar restaurants. Worrell said the optics are that food trucks, quote, get a better deal than those restaurants or folks who actually invest and pay taxes, real estate taxes, into our community. Kelly said he's open to the idea, though he raised concerns about the food trucks that are in the middle. He said, I also don't want to see staff spending significant resources tracking down payments that might be difficult to ever get or might generate far less revenue than expense out from the city to try to track it down. Revenue generated by the 1% food and beverage tax goes towards special events and community arts, or SECA, grant program. According to the memo, the revenue has grown over the years to support public safety pensions, social service grants, supplemental support for Napier settlement, and abating property taxes for debt service. If approved, the changes could take effect January 1st. We'll go over to Lakemore before we hit our break. A car catches fire after crashing into a building in Lakemore. A vehicle crashed into an industrial building in Lakemore on Tuesday, causing a fire that spread from the car to the structure. The vehicle crashed at about 2:40 p.m. into a gas meter and through the brick wall of a building that houses several businesses on the 400 block of Scotland Road, the McHenry Township Fire Protection District said in a news release. The crews arrived within 4 minutes. A fire was spreading to the building, and the call was upgraded to bring in additional personnel and water since there are no hydrants in the area. NICOR was called in. Crews deployed 2 hose lines to protect the businesses while working to keep the gas-fed fire in check, while personnel checked the building for occupants and for the driver of the vehicle. Everyone was accounted for and evacuated, and no injuries were reported. The release said a tow truck already on location pulled the burning vehicle away from the building so that fire crews could access the gas shutoff valve. The gas was shut off and the fire was under control by about 3:05 p.m. Departments that assisted or covered McHenry Township stations were Cary, Crystal Lake, Fox Lake, Nunda, Richmond, Round Lake, Spring Grove, Wakanda, Wonder Lake, and Woodstock. Lakemore police were also on the scene to investigate, along with the fire district. A damage estimate was not available at the time today. Don't forget to head on over to downtownelgin.com/nightmare to learn all about Nightmare on Chicago Street, happening this Saturday starting at 6 p.m. You can head on over there and get your tickets for just $35. Or if you buy them here at the line, it's $40. So head on over to downtownelgin.com/nightmare. When we come back, a suspect is charged in a hit and run near Huntley that injured a skateboarder. Also, a breakfast for veterans. Stick around. We've got more news and local updates here on the WRMN 10 o'clock news.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Does your car need a shine? At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they make it quick, easy, and spotless every time. And they're open 24/7 for your convenience. Right now, get a free car wash just for joining their text club. Text BRITT to 30400 and enjoy a free car wash. Visit Britain's Touchless Car Wash at 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin or at 555 Willow in West Dundee. Britain's, caring for your car while caring for our community.
Welcome to WRMN, your trusted voice in the Fox River Valley for over 75 years. We bring you fact-based news, good faith discussions, and entertainment that brings people together. From national headlines to local stories, WRMN is your home for thoughtful dialogue and community engagement. No matter the time of day, where you're listening from, or who you are always welcome here. Thanks for making us a part of your day. This is the Talk of the Town, WRMN. Back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news, the earliest 10 o'clock news here in the Fox River Valley. Sci-fi horror meets frightful fun at Elgin's Nightmare on Chicago Street. Downtown Elgin has become ground zero for an extraterrestrial invasion with the annual Nightmare on Chicago Street on Saturday, October 25th. Using televisions and lost VHS tapes, they have unleashed cosmic horror upon the citizenry. Experience the mayhem and carnage on the front lines as the brave Zombie Defense Initiative fight back this intergalactic threat. The event runs from 6 to 8 p.m. with early access for ZDI all access passes at 5 p.m. Within the safe zone, select businesses will be open to provide food, beverages, shelter, and other supplies you'll need to have an evening of frightful fun. Friday night also has some frights. Once again, before the big event, they're hosting Friday Night Frights with various performances, including a drumline, fire eating, and sword swallowing at various locales around town before the main event on Saturday. From 5 to 7 p.m., there will be face painting and balloon artists at La Masianca Paradise, 215 East Chicago Street, and the contortionist Kathy Flows at Whatnots and Whimsies. From 6 to 8 p.m., the Human Pincushion at the Funky Rooster Tattoo and Art Gallery at 73 Grove Avenue, and caricatures at Churros and Chocolate at 66 South Grove Avenue. Lady Wolves Drumline will be performing from 6:30 to 7 p.m. in the parking lot of Union Bank at 8 South Spring Street, followed by singer dancers from 7 to 7:30 p.m. and the DB Stereo from 8 to 10 p.m. Cryptic Kid, the Sword Swallower, will be at the Elgin Public House, 219 East Chicago Street, from 7 to 9 p.m. and see Fire Performer from the Ash from 8 to 10 p.m. at El Patio Mexican Restaurant at 64 South Grove, and La Rosa Acora Flamenco will be performing from 8 to 10 p.m. at the Martini Room at 161 East Chicago Street. There'll be specially themed pop-up bars, Be Kind and Rewind, First Contact, and 9 Lives Cadaver Club. Also, street experiences. Check out any of the 7 new experiences with themes of First Contact, Safe Zone, Cirque du Freak, and Kingdom of Plante. You can find more information over at downtownelgin.com/nightmare. WRMN will also be broadcasting live, more than likely starting around 6 or 7, with music, with authors, with scary stories, and coverage of Nightmare on Chicago Street. Head on over to downtownelgin.com where you can purchase your tickets early for $35, or when you get them over in the line, they're $40 at the door. Stick around, we've got more WRMN 10 o'clock news, where a suspect is charged in a hit and run near Huntley that injured a skateboarder. And Carpentersville prohibits the immigration agents from using village-owned property. And less food for more people, as thousands could lose SNAP benefits amid the shutdown. This is the WRMN 10 o'clock news.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Rain X, America's #1 wiper blade. Aurora police are searching for 16-year-old Melina Granados, who was last seen around noon Friday in the 500 block of Parker Avenue. She's described as 5'4", 150 pounds with brown hair and eyes, and was wearing a black hoodie and black pants. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Aurora Police Department's Investigations Division. More than 1.9 million Illinois residents risk losing their SNAP food benefits starting November 1st if the federal government shutdown continues, as the U.S. Department of Agriculture has halted funding for November SNAP payments. Illinois officials warn this could leave many families, including children, seniors, and people with disabilities, without vital food support during a time of rising food insecurity and inflation. Local food banks are preparing for increased demand, but emphasize the need for federal leaders to restore funding and reopen the government to prevent widespread hunger. Last week, former and current Campton Hills police officers, including ex-police chief Stephen Miller, Miller were indicted for allegedly selling guns illegally from the police evidence room between 2018 and 2023. Prosecutors say they also falsified and altered reports to cover up the sales and obstruct investigations. All 4 men turned themselves in and were released with restrictions, including a ban on possessing firearms and contacting each other. Miller faces 41 charges, including money laundering, forgery, and wire fraud. Lake and Will counties have joined a growing number of local governments, including Chicago and Cook County, in banning federal immigration officials from using their properties for civil enforcement activities. The Lake County Board recently approved the move in a 14-5 vote, with signage now being installed at 28 county-owned sites. Supporters say the actions protect immigrant communities from being targeted, while opponents argued for a more neutral stance to avoid escalating tensions with federal authorities. Similar measures are expected soon in North Chicago and Carpentersville. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. A frost advisory is in effect from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. Friday. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 52. Tonight, widespread frost after 11 p.m., mostly clear with a low around 30. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 54. Currently, it is 43 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. It's still 44 degrees outside here in Elgin as we march to our partly cloudy day, a high of 52. Low of 29 already past us, but tomorrow we've got a high of 54 and that sunshine coming up. Low of 34. Saturday, high of 55, low of 44, and Sunday, 60 is where we hit our high. Carpentersville prohibits immigration agents from using village-owned property. Suburban community that once had an English-only law on its books has backed an ordinance prohibiting immigration agents from using village-owned property to stage or carry out immigration enforcement activities. Carpentersville trustees Tuesday unanimously approved the measure just days after an immigration agents were in the village for days of enforcement activities, including some carried out in the front of Village Hall without notice to Carpentersville officials. Jeff Frost, referencing the immigration agents who were in Carpentersville last week, said, "I'm not happy about seeing masked people with guns." Frost added, "I was a yes vote for the ordinance before this meeting. Keep the faith with the village of Carpentersville because we're here for you." Village President John Skillman, who recalled his first action after being elected in 2017 was to rescind the English-only ordinance, said he held a meeting with state lawmakers and other community leaders Friday to discuss actions the community could take. He said, "We're going to work hard," while pointing to volunteers who attended Tuesday meeting. "We need everyone to get involved and stay involved." He encouraged people to volunteer to be observers during school drop-off and pickup times to help alert educators when ICE agents are in the area. He also said the village will work with residents who are concerned about coming to Village Hall to pay utility bills and will work with food pantries to ensure residents who need food can receive it without fear of being detained by immigration. Carpentersville joins other communities, including Lake, Will, and Cook counties, Broadview, and Evanston, in passing this ordinance. Other entities, include DuPage County, are expected to follow. Tuesday's action was welcomed with applause with the standing room only crowd at the meeting. One woman told trustees before the vote, "We need to create a safe and welcoming environment for all of our residents, regardless of immigration status." A memo to trustees by the village manager, Brad Stewart, said that last Wednesday, ICE agents were parked in front of a village hall, and some came inside with detainees to use the restroom. Last Thursday, 2 ICE agents were in a restricted parking area for police and employees without authorization. The memo noted that the village received several phone calls and emails from residents concerned about the presence of ICE agents around Village Hall. Many at Tuesday's meeting spoke of the lingering effects of last week's events. Some spoke of how family or friends were afraid to go to work, pick up children at school, or go to the store because they may be targeted by immigration simply for being Hispanic. A 5th grade student told trustees he and his friends are afraid to go outside and play. One woman said, "I'm afraid because I see strangers stalking our streets, our neighborhoods, our stores." Village officials said they will continue working with state lawmakers and community agencies such as local food pantries and Elgin's Centro de Información to address ongoing concerns. When we come back, we'll talk about those concerns as thousands could lose SNAP benefits amid shutdown, advocates warn. We're running down the biggest headlines of the day, and we're sourcing a lot from these largest headlines from thedailyherald.com. Head on over there to read the e-edition or sign up for the actual physical paper to be delivered directly to your home. This is the WRMN 10 o'clock news. We'll be right back.
own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Looking for a spotless clean you can count on? Meet Clean King, your local family-owned janitorial service that treats every client like royalty. Fully insured and trusted by businesses across the area, Clean King delivers personalized, top-quality cleaning tailored to your needs at the best price in town. Call now for your free quote at 224-276-6057. That's 224-276-6057. Or visit them at cleankingcleaning.com. That's Clean King, where your quality and service reign supreme. A proud member of the Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, supporting the local business community.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. An update on the temperature. We did just get ourselves another degree as we march on up to 52. It is currently 45 degrees here in the Fox River Valley, at least over here by Studio 14 on Douglas Street, as they are setting up for Nightmare on Chicago Street, which is just half a block over from us. Less food for more people. Thousands could lose SNAP benefits amid shutdown, advocates warn. Dawn uses the food pantry at Outreach House in Lombard to feed her 4 children and also depends on SNAP benefits, which pay for a week's worth of groceries to put meals on the table. Outreach House Executive Director Kathleen Knott asked on Wednesday's roundtable if she loses that 1 week, how could she cover the gap? She asked at the roundtable organized by U.S. Representative Sean Casten. Social service leaders from Cook and DuPage counties warned of more people and less food if Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program payments are halted in November as a result of the government shutdown. Downers Grove Democrat Casten said, the White House announced this week that if the government is still shut down November 1st, they are going to block all food assistance. It is deeply evil what they are threatening. Again, that was Downers Grove Democrat Casten. If SNAP, formerly food stamps, benefits are suspended, Illinois Food Bank Chief Philanthropy Officer Colleen Adherence said, we're going to see 78,000 people roughly lose benefits right away. Robert Deso, a NIFB senior manager, added, for every meal that we provide, SNAP provides 9. So we're just simply not at the scale of SNAP. As a network, we are stretched. And, quote, while we are optimistic by nature, Desio said, the worst case scenario is less food for more people. Illinois administers more than $350 million in SNAP funds each month that reach 1.9 million recipients. Average monthly benefits are $370, the Illinois Department of Human Services reported. Dawn, whose last name was kept confidential, is a stay-at-home mom with a husband who works full-time. Outreach House clients cover a wide range of demographics, advocates explained during the forum at DuPage Senior Citizens Council offices in Lombard at the Wheaton-based People's Resource Center food pantry. We're seeing more seniors. We're seeing more families, CEO Jennifer Fabian said. People are stressed and are starting to panic about what's going to happen, and those are just the folks that we are aware of the change. The PRC served 3,000 clients last month, and more than 1,000 received SNAP aid, making those clients whole in November would use 1/3 of the agency's entire food budget, Fabian noted. About 45% of households receiving SNAP benefits have children who will suffer if the program is suspended, the IDHS stated. A newly appointed state representative, Margaret De La Rosa, said, in schools, we can feed kids the breakfast, the lunch. We're not able to provide dinner as well. She covers Glen Board District 87's school board president. The crunch comes amid thousands of government employees not being paid. One recent prospective client at York Township Food Pantry was a furloughed federal worker, Supervisor Tim Murray recalled. The York Pantry has experienced a 70% increase in clients. I think the word has gotten out. SNAP is going to go away, Murray said. To meet the anticipated surge in demand, food pantry leaders said they welcome not only donations, but also volunteers. The shutdown started October 1st, and Congress remains at an impasse. Democrats are seeking concessions on extending health care benefits, and Republicans are pushing to reopen the government first. The White House issued a statement Wednesday saying the Democrat shutdown isn't about an honest policy dispute. Officials say more than 1 million federal employees aren't getting paid. Americans are facing excruciating delays at airports. Food stamp funding is drying up. Small businesses are teetering on collapse, and tourists are shut out of their nation's capital from officials. De La Rosa commented that, quote, here we have an administration that's building a ballroom, and 45% of the people that receive SNAP benefits are children. That was referring to President Donald Trump's controversial White House renovation. Kasten said Republicans are refusing to negotiate. I hope, quote, I hope it ends when either Senate Majority Leader John Thune or Speaker Mike Johnson or Trump recognize that there's nothing good about shutdown and they need to get back to focusing on real things that matter. Read more of the headlines on the front page of the Daily Herald. When we come back, we've got more news from the suburbs. There's a breakfast for veterans, and a spooky Sprint 5K is happening Saturday morning. Check out Elk Grove Village Crime Prevention Unit when they host their neighborhood watch. And we've got more news about ICE and a few other local stories here on the WRMN 10 o'clock news.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To the WRMN 10 o'clock news. We've got about 5 minutes left here in the program. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the show. Also, thank you for watching over there on YouTube. We see a couple people that headed over there, youtube.com. You can find us at WRMN Radio. Federal immigration officials will pursue federal charges regarding the reported battery of 2 agents in Bolingbrook, police said. On Tuesday, Bolingbrook police officials said no arrests have been made in connection with an incident on Sunday involving, quote, 2 unknown females accused of striking agents with U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement. ICE will be, quote, pursuing their own charges at the federal level, unquote, according to Bolingbrook Police Lieutenant Pat Kinsella. About 9:52 a.m. Sunday, officers with the Bolingbrook Police Department responded to the 100 block of Williamsburg Lane for a report of battery, police said. Quote, responding officers were met by federal immigration agents who related they were victims of battery while attempting to make an arrest. ICE agents reported that 2 unknown females struck them in the head while they were attempting to arrest a 46-year-old man in the parking lot, police said. The females and the man then fled the area on foot and entered a nearby residence. The agents declined medical attention, police said. Elk Grove Village Crime Prevention Unit will host a neighborhood watch meeting on Thursday, October 30th. Members of the unit will discuss current crime trends and other police-related information during the session, which begins at 7 p.m. in Village Hall Meeting Room E, 901 Wellington Avenue. Anyone with questions, contact the Crime Prevention Unit by phone at 847-357-4151 or via email at tmalek@elkgrovevillage.org. That's TMALEK at elkgrovevillage.org for the Elk Grove Village Crime Prevention Unit and their neighborhood watch meeting. Residents contact are needed. Buffalo Grove has launched a community-wide effort to update resident and business contact information, forming the foundation of an upcoming customer relationship management system. The system will connect multiple village systems to streamline operations, improve internal coordination, and enhance how the village communicates with the community, according to officials. Residents and businesses to complete a short online form at vbg.org/updatemyinfo through February 28th, 2026. Expect a launch in late 2026 to early 2027. The CRM system will enable residents to easily submit and track service requests, access information, and receive updates in real time, supporting the village's goal of providing data-driven, responsive, and resident-focused service. Email communications@vbg.org or call 847-459-2500. And we've got two events on Saturday, October 25th. Carpenter's Park will be on site of Carpenterville's Spooky Spirit Sprint at 5K and haunted happenings from 9 a.m. to noon. Nearly 100 runners are ready to hit the trail for the inaugural Spooky Sprint 5K. And military veterans living in Maine Township are invited to a breakfast in their honor November 7th. The township officials will host the gathering at a site that only will be disclosed to people who register to attend. It'll run from 8:30 to 11 a.m., and the registration deadline is October 27th. Call 847-297-2510, extension 252. This has been the WRMN 10 o'clock news.